Well, on today's Money Monday, one of the worst fears imaginable is getting locked out because you cannot remember your password. Depends on what you're getting locked out of. It could be millions. We've got Kyle Wingfield from Finley Alexander Wealth Management joining us now. How are you?
I'm doing well. I certainly don't want to go through what we're going to be talking about because
Oh,
that
my goodness.
sucks.
Well, there was a story recently, of course, and if you haven't heard this, about a man, I guess several people actually, they were investors in Bitcoin and they got locked out of millions of dollars because they forgot their password. And apparently, there's only so many attempts that they can make, and they're down to like their final two. And if they do not get this password correct, they are going to be missing out on millions. You heard
Yeah,
about
so that's disheartening, and that's not the right word. I mean, that really sucks because
it? Yeah.
here's the idea. Let's just talk about what this really says. We're in the world, the digital world now. So you got a lot of folks who say, I still don't want to do anything online. I'm this. Hey, relax. That's where we're going. Okay, so we're going to what I heard someone say, Cloudlandia. We are migrating to Cloudlandia. Things are going to be done digitally. My stuff stored in the cloud. Passwords in cybersecurity are going to be very, very important, and they are very good now. But you have to figure out how you're going to keep up with your passwords.
Right.
And then what happens? What's the protocol when you sign up at these different websites with stuff like these different currency exchanges for cryptocurrency? Yeah, like if you don't remember your password and fail the protocols, you're locked out.
Well, Kyle, how do we keep track of them? Because every single password or every single platform wants a different password. I can't remember it. And then on top of that, they want us changing it every 30, 60, 90 days. It gets a little overwhelming.
So yeah, it is overwhelming. I mean, that's a perfect word for that, Elsa. But I would say, okay, so we all use these little things here, right? So this is my phone, all right?
Mhm.
And so as they say, there's an app for that. So there's a number of apps where you can do password keeper. You can go old school and maybe set up a Word document or an Excel spreadsheet and then put in the URL, the web address, the username, and the password. And then every 30 days it changes. You go in there, you go and you update your stuff. That's one way to do it.
And the password apps, they are safe. We can trust those.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I use an Excel spreadsheet on my computer, and then I back that up to an external hard drive. Then I back that up to another cloud. So I've got all these different backup protocols. But the reason I like to use a spreadsheet is because I can put in there when they ask you key questions or which phone number are we going to send this text to or whatever. You want to make sure that you know the answers to that stuff. And so I think sometimes doing something that's manual is great. They've got a lot of different password keepers out there that you can put an app on and then store it. How safe are they? Do your research. I'm not going to endorse any of them.
You're right, because every app is different. You're absolutely right. But once we do get organized and we have all this stuff in one place, how do we share it safely? Because we want to have a pathway for that too. If, something
Yeah,
happens
that's
to us and I want, my loved one to get my millions, how do they get it?
so that this goes down to getting organized. I think probably one of the things that is a roadblock or maybe the wall for a lot of people with personal finances. How do I organize all this? Because it's out of sight, out of mind, and I think about it once a year, whatever. And so what we do is I've got this whole document folks can grab right after this segment called Getting Organized, and it's going to go through some stuff you probably already know, but then it's going to list a whole other bullet points of items you're like, ooh, I didn't even realize that oh, that's good. I should get my hand on that and put it somewhere centrally. And then also there might be some stuff on there where you say, ooh, I need to get one of those, like perhaps update my will, get a power of attorney, whatever, advanced healthcare directive. At, where do you keep a copy of your license, passport, stuff like that? So first getting a document, like a checklist to say, okay, here's where all this stuff is. How do we share it with people we care about? Well, number one, you can either, because for our clients, we use a digital vault where they can then share the digital vault with people that are important to them. But you can also figure out how to do that too, because you can just put together a document, find your point of contact, right? Find your point of contact and say, hey, listen, this is all of my stuff. If I get incapacitated or I die, here's where everything is. Here's all my data about me. Here's my social security number, because we've all been there, at least I have, where you lose someone close to you. And then you're like, what's his social security number?
What was that? Yeah.
Where are his accounts? Where is all this stuff? Get organized. It's not tough. Takes you probably 30 minutes on a Saturday morning to start getting organized.
And you know what? You make a good point. It is not tough. It is just one of those things that we put off because we don't want to think about it. It feels like a chore. It's not really fun, but honestly, allocate the 30 minutes, guys. It'll be done. It'll be all over. In fact, if you want to keep this conversation going, you can do so with Kyle right after this segment, right?
Yeah, around this segment, we're going to go to Facebook Live. So we talk about getting organized, making sure you can get all your stuff in one place, making it easy. I like to say the goal for anybody that deals with us is we just want to be your easy button. So part of that easy button, Elsa, is after this, they can go to finleyalexander.com and they can actually download a checklist that is incredibly thorough to help you think about things that you got to get organized for financially, how to gather your passwords, how to do all of that and get it to the important people that matter to you, especially yourself, right? So in case you forget, right? Oh, I can't remember the password, go to this document.
I got enough to remember, Kyle. I just cannot. I need to put it in one location. Appreciate having you here. And we'll be right back with more Midday Maryland right after this. Stay tuned.